I come out here today to report on the truth, what America thinks of Barack Obama. This is one of the busiest little corners in Latham. We're at the Latham Route 7. Look up their sign there. Hear the beeps? These are beeps supporting the. Come up here, man. These are beeps supporting the impeachment of Barack Obama. Thank you. These are folks that came out because they don't support what Barack Obama is doing. And these are patriots in America. See them over there too? Look over there. And you'll hear when people go by, people have had enough of Barack Obama. People don't want to deal with this anymore. Yeah! All right. Woo! Yeah! Yeah! This guy right here, look at him. Thank you. All right. Thank you. People holding up traffic. People are really not enough of this. Folks are raising their spirits out here. Look at this guy. Bring this guy over here. That's a patriot right there. People have had enough of this. You know? Back over here. Back over here. Back over here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Get him up. Get him over here. Get him over here. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Folks have had enough of this. And these are patriots. These are just ordinary people. You know, the Koch brothers didn't pay for this event. There was nobody here that was paid to be here. Every one of these people is a patriot, just an ordinary person who's had enough of Barack Obama's errors. These people going by and beeping, the Koch brothers aren't paying them to come by and beep. Okay? These are people who are just tired of what's going on in the United States. You know, we've had enough of wars endlessly. We've had enough. Thank you. Folks are beeping as they're going out. So people are beeping and people are happy, and they're coming out to see us and show their support, and it's pretty awesome. I'm gonna go over here and introduce you to some of the patriots. Come follow me, man. I think you got a chance here when the light turns red. I want to come and welcome some of these patriots. Picture of them. How you doing, folks?
How's it going?
Did Coca-Cola pay you to be here? Did the Koch brothers pay you to be here? No. Every one of these people is here because they're patriots of the United States. You see their signs? These are the signs. This doesn't say Coca-Cola. This person might not even drink Coca-Cola. I think Coca-Cola is good for battery acid. That's about it. Okay? I love the Koch brothers because they support us, but they're not paying us. And I don't drink Coke. This is awesome out here. I'm with the Patriot Action Network. Thank every one of you folks. We're going to be here all day. People are going to come out to express their support of the United States. And they're absolutely, thank you folks. They're absolutely repulsed with what's going on in America. Thank you, Patriot. And how you doing, young man? And the people are responding in America. They've had enough of what's going of the endless war, the endless expenses. Right? Get them pumped up. There's amazing patriots out here. Every one of these people are not on the payroll of some corporation who, you know, these aren't people whose dues are being transferred into here. These are people who are like honest people who are just trying to earn a living, who have fed up. I can interview any one of these people, and I guarantee you none of them here came here for any reason other than, you know, than to do the right thing. Any of you want to be interviewed? No, you don't want to be interviewed?
Anyway, I'm Ron Stafford.
Ron Stafford, Carl Gostein. Good to meet you, Ron. I know your name, yeah. Thank you. Ron Stafford's with us. He's one of the members of the Patriots out there working on. How you doing, sir? Are you going to be interviewed? No, okay. Are you folks going to be interviewed? Are you going to be interviewed at all? Are you going to be interviewed? I'll talk to you. Okay. You want to give your name on camera? Yeah. Okay. My name is Carl Gostein. I'm with the Patriot Action Network. I'm sitting with one of the patriots out here on the bridge. You're out here to protest Barack Obama, and you have to ask for his impeachment. Can you give me your name first, sir, and tell me why you're here?
Ken Crew. I'm here just to support these folks.
Are you with anybody's, are you being paid to be here?
No.
You're not being paid to be here?
Not at all.
What do you do for a living?
I work in insurance.
Okay, so you're not attached to a government agency or?
No.
Okay. So you're in insurance. How do you think that Barack Obama's presidency has affected your personal industry, your business, from your point of view?
I think he's wrecking insurance because it the law of large numbers won't apply anymore. We have a thing called adverse selection. It covers everybody. That doesn't apply either. So I don't know. And he's letting some people out of it. You need to include, if you're going to have it, you got to include everybody. Otherwise, it can't possibly work.
You mentioned the law of adverse numbers?
No, large numbers.
Law of large numbers. Can you explain that to us for a little bit, sir?
Yeah, if you don't, once you get everybody into it, it won't apply. You have to have everybody, because if you opt out a lot of people, you won't have enough people paying in to support the people that are adversely selected. Like,
you're talking about economic theory, is that correct, sir?
Right.
Right. So in other words, the numbers, the actuarial numbers will not work out to balance the tables. So the plan itself will collapse. Is that it?
I believe so. Yeah.
So it can't. It's not sustainable.
Right.
So you don't think it's going to be affordable?
Not at all.
Not affordable. Well, it's called the Affordable Care Act, sir. So does that offend you at all? That it's the Affordable Care
I
Act?
call it the unaffordable care act.
You wouldn't be the first man in insurance to tell me that, sir. I think that you're absolutely correct. I think it is a target on the insurance industry specifically. I think what the government wants to do is become the insurance industry.
They do. They want it to collapse, and they can come in and rescue the whole. They can be the single. They want a single payer system. They're on record saying it's.
Can you tell me how you think that will benefit them and why they want that?
They're going to make more. It's all about control. If you control people, then they're at your beck and call.
Well, I'm also looking at the numbers, the money. If there's no insurance companies, or the businesses are handing the business of insurance company, the government's handing the business, and they're collecting the taxes, they can redistribute the money that the insurance industry used to have. Is there anything you feel about it that's anything that really comes to mind, something that you think America should know? Because this is going out all across the country.
I think the worst thing he's done when he hung those people out to dry in Benghazi, that was ridiculous. We never leave people behind by that. Those people, those 2 or 3 brave guys held off a bunch of Al-Qaeda for quite some time, and that was sad.
Well, I'll say on Benghazi, I got to tell you, I find that reprehensible. I think that there's some things that we don't know. America doesn't know the connection between Benghazi and perhaps even the gassings in Syria.
Yep.
I found the gassings in Syria to be a sort of a wag-the-tail situation. I find it reprehensible that now we seem to find ourselves in a position of being the Air Force of Al-Qaeda. Would you agree with me?
Absolutely.
You agree with me?
Yeah.
That's interesting, sir. So we're not just. Have I ever met you before?
No, I don't think so. They're running guns. That's why they had to take out the ambassador. I think. I know it sounds conspiratorial, but
Look that camera in the eye and tell them the last time we met. We never met.
we never met.
We never met.
Nope.
And what's interesting is that we share some similar ideas. I think what happens is that's called truth. And when people start to believe a truth that others don't want them to believe, they come up with complicated scenarios to distract us from the truth. I think that's what's going on here.
Yep.
And I really appreciate what you're doing on here, sir. I think that that you're worth 100 people.
We appreciate you guys too, doing a great job.
Thank you, sir. We're the Patriot Action Network,
meet you.
and we support you every day.
Thanks.
Thank
Good
you.
to talk to you.
Are you folks going to be on camera?
I don't care if I am.
Okay. You don't want to talk to
She
me?
works for the government. That's the
No? Okay, well, let's not ask you that, but thank you for being out here. I appreciate your support. Who's this?
I
Ma'am?
don't.
Are you Carol? You didn't care? No? I'm sorry. Check your camera. Can we talk to you? Ask you why you're out doing that? That's a good thing. One this way. Thank you, folks.
Thanks.
How to impeach Obama. How to impeach Obama. You can say it too. You can say it too. You can smile when I say it. It's a fat man dancing. I'm 49 years old today. It's pretty good.
Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
How you doing,
Oh,
bud?
I'm doing fantastic. This is awesome.
Ken.
Carl Gostein.
Hey, Carl.
What's your last name?
Ken Brown.
Ken Brown. Good to meet
Ken
you, sir.
Brown.
You want to be on camera for a minute?
Sure.
Sure. This is Ken Brown. He's out here today to press on this Obama is a joke is his sign. So I want to ask him, what's funny, sir? What do you find funny about Obama?
The cost of it. Obama said it's going to save us $2,500. It's going to cost most of us $7,500.
That doesn't sound affordable to me.
That didn't sound affordable at all. That's $1,000 difference. $10,000 difference.
Wait a minute, this joke sounds like it's on me. This joke sounds like it's on America. That's not funny.
No, nothing on America is funny.
Well, this is not
We
a
the
funny
people
joke.
don't like that.
Yeah, I think that's the reason
And that's why I'm here today.
Why are you here today for, sir? What do you want?
I'm here for my children and my grandchildren. I want to be able to show them what freedom is, not tell them what freedom was.
Sir, what sort of, you've been on this earth for a few decades, maybe 1 or 2 longer than me. what sort of problems do you foresee, and what kind of things? This president of the United States, is he? Do you think he's up to standard? Is he the kind of thing that you've seen a lot of presidents come and go? Have you seen one like this before?
Never. I've never seen a president that didn't follow the Constitution. This guy does not follow the Constitution, the amendments, or the Bill of Rights.
Can I ask you about what happened, if you have any opinion, on the recent activities when he wanted to go to war with Syria? Do you see any ties with maybe what happened with Benghazi, or have you heard about any of those kind of things? Do you have any interest in any of that stuff?
No, I haven't had any ties. But I will tell you, we did find the weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah.
We found out where those were.
Yeah.
And that was all Bush's fault, right?
Al-Qaeda had them in Syria.
Correct.
And now, sir, we are Al-Qaeda's Air Force. Thanks to the Muslim Brotherhood occupier of the White House, who orders our troops into battle to defend Al-Qaeda. That's why I want him impeached. That's just one of the many reasons. I appreciate your sign, sir. I have been saying often that the president is a joke, and the joke is on us, and it's not funny. And I like your sign.
Okay, well,
thank you for coming out, Don.
Thank you.
I'm Carl Gostein with the Patriot Action Networks, and we're supporting what you're doing every day.
You're a Patriots fan.
Thank you, sir. I want to go across the street. I want to see some of these folks over here. Let's go across right now. Run.
Careful.
Stop in the middle. Get some of that camera here. Let's see, go. Starting this end over here. You got a little tiny one over there on the end. So these are some more Patriots around here. We have a gentleman over here who's with the he's running for Congress, and he's out there got in the air. There's Tom Cavanaugh. There's Tom Cavanaugh point. Yeah, that's Tom Cavanaugh. He's with the Patriot Action Network, and it looks like it's coming together. So what's going on out here, folks, is you have this man over here, I believe that's Joe Gilbert, and he's a retired major in the Army, and he's running for Congress, I believe. So I want to try to get him on camera if we can. Come on, real quick. We'll start on this end and we'll work down to Golden. Hey, guys. All right. Hello there. Keep those shades on. This is, these folks here are ready to tell Obama what they think of what's going on. We have several folks here. Yeah. How you doing? Do any of you folks willing to go on camera? Are any of you willing to go on camera? Are you willing to go on camera? This is Tom Cavanaugh. Tom, it's good to see you out here today. This is not the first activist patriot event I've seen you come out and stand up for the United States of America. I'm sure it won't. This is a live broadcast going out to the overpasses throughout the country. And the people in America want to know, why do you want Obama impeached? What's bothering you today?
Obama has consistently violated the Constitution of the United States, which has got us in the economic and the foreign affairs mess we're in right now. And it's very simple. If we would go by the Constitution of the United States, we'd be fine. But he's going against the law, constantly breaking the law. We've gotten now to a point where in the military, our military men cannot talk about God, but yet you can talk about Allah. This is still a Christian country. This is a God-fearing country. God is the only one true God, and Allah is not. So it's a religious war. It's an economic war. It's a war of ideas. It's exactly what's going on in this country. That's why I'm here.
Well, you know, Tom, I got to agree with everything you say. I mean, there's nothing you said that sounds extreme or unusual to me. I think any American citizen that looks back at our history and looks at reality as it is today, they can't argue with a word you had to say. The folks that argue with you are folks that want to obfuscate the truth. You tell the truth, Tom. Every one of you folks out here are telling the truth, and I appreciate every single one of you. Is there anything else you'd like to tell us today about what's going on?
Yeah, take back your schools and take back your court systems. That's how you take back your country. You got to stop the brainwashing in the schools with the kids, and you got to take back the court system so the judges don't overstep their bounds. If there's a vote, the people vote on something, and they say that's the way it is, the judges do not have the right to overrule the people that vote in the United States of America. And vote with ID. Don't trust, verify to vote. You need an ID to vote, and not a national ID, a state ID.
So like me, you don't think having an ID to vote is racist?
Not at all. You need an ID to get your checks, to go get your medications at a doctor's office, pharmacy. You need ID for everything, ID to vote.
Well, not to get off on a tangent, but I think the very idea that saying that it's racist to require proper ID is a racist statement in itself, because what it assumes is that a certain group, I'm not going to identify any groups because I don't believe this to be true of any group, but it assumes that certain groups are unable, are incompetent, or too stupid, or too lawless, or too fearful to do something that most Americans, we all have an ID. I bet you every person here today has got an ID, even the children have IDs on. It's something you need to do, like you said, all those things you need to do. What I find is destructive and divisive is when we inject racial politics in something as simple as, should you have an ID to sanctify the election system? Because I believe if folks can't cheat, they can't win. And I think one of the problems in America is our elections have not been sacrosanct, that they have been violated. And I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that, Tom. I think that a lot of people think that. So if we can keep our elections honest, I think that the voice of America will come through at the polls. What do you think?
No, I totally agree with you. The fact that they say it's racism is that big code word for us to shut up and act they nailed us again. Well, that's wrong. Racism comes down to this. Racism has nothing to do. Racism has nothing to do with this. The color of your skin.
Sorry.
Racism has to do with what's up here in your mind, what's here in your heart and your soul. That's racism, nothing else.
So you don't consider yourself a racist?
No, far from a racist. I want Alan West to be the next president of the United States.
You know who I liked wasn't Alan West. I do like Alan West. Herman Cain was the guy I supported for president, and I found it so unbelievable that that the way that happened to him. But anyway, and I'm a Tea Party guy, as you know, and so to call Tea Party racist, but so many of us were for minority candidates, it's just beyond the pale. All right, Tom, one last question. What do you see coming up in the future? Are there more events like this coming out? Are people active? Are people becoming aware of what's going on? And do they care? Or is this just everyone's just influenced?
No. I think the sleeping giant was really awoke with the safe act. I think they see that if they can do that, violate our Second Amendment rights, that they can violate anyway. There's a lot of people from the Move On movement and other movements that saw what happened here, and they're scared themselves. So the Occupy people, I have friends that are Occupy people, and they came and helped and supported us, rallies, because again, they say, if you can do it to that, you can do it to anything. Any of our rights.
Well, let me say on that, I've seen Occupy people, and they sound a lot more reasonable than some of these leftist extremists who are un-American in their very nature. A lot of these Occupy folks have been mislabeled the same way the Tea Party has been mislabeled. I find them to be somewhat moderate people of the left, and we're the somewhat moderate people of the right, believe it or not. And if we come together, I think that we are the force of tomorrow's politics in America. I think because people on this left-right paradigm they keep putting us through, I think people on both sides of that role, they know we're not getting treated like right.
It's plain simple. It's the left, it's the right. We're both money's being taken out of our pockets, and we're broke, and the government keeps spending more, and they're sitting fat and happy. No, it's time for the left and right to get together and say, no, keep money in our own pockets, let's do what we want to do, not let them do what they want to do.
Right.
That's what it comes down to.
Well,
it's survival, it's money, it's feeding your kids, it's feeding your wife, it's helping out your neighbor, trying to do what you can, but not when the government keeps taking more and more of your money. It's control, and that's exactly what they want. They want the New World Order. We're the last bastion of hope. We have to stop the New World Order here, otherwise it's back.
Us and the occupiers.
And the occupiers. Any American citizen.
Well, I mean, people that come together in large groups like us on both sides of the paradigm, we are the ones who are the best hope for America to save them from the NWO and New World Order. And I agree with you 100%. And the issues you just mentioned, they aren't Democrat or Republican issues.
No.
They're American issues. They're working man issues. They're people issues, right? I've looked at the numbers in the distribution tables. Yes, there is a 1%. And I'm not too happy the way some people don't have to pay any taxes, and some people get all the burdens and stuff. And I mean on both ends. Not poor people, I mean rich people who are not paying any taxes. So, I mean, I do think that the things have to be reformed. I think the IRS needs to be reformed, if not eliminated, and maybe a flat tax put in place so people can more fairly distribute it. But the things that we're out here today is not so much about to push our own agenda, but a failed agenda of a failed president who I believe is violating constitutional rights repeatedly. Every time I turn around, I see another thing, another outrage basically, either a new executive order or something else he's done that's in direct violation of America's constitutional rights. Have you noticed a pattern here, an ongoing pattern? Is that maybe part, as far as I know, I believe that's a part of your energy, because I've watched you for a while, Tom. You and I have walked together, and so, you and I both believe this is an ongoing thing. I want to know if you think that there's any chance this guy's going to suddenly turn over a new leaf, and we're all going to suddenly find him, a kumbaya moment with Obama, or is it going to be, Obama does have to go? Is it that?
It's plain and it's very simple. Obama's got to go. Clinton's got to go. They all have to go. He's got a bunch of corrupt people in there that want to destroy this country, and their plan is working.
Good.
So we must stop the plan from working.
You will get
Impeach Obama.
Oh, that's it. I don't know what I would say.
Okay. Well, we're doing live streams for the whole Obama. We're doing events. We're doing these events. They're doing these events all across the country. We're trying to cover it. So we're just showing people that are here, right?
He's a really good speaker.
He is a good speaker. All right, so we're going to go see some more. I think there's another guy down there I want to see. See the guy, where's the guy running?
Gilbert.
Joe Gilbert. I want to meet him too. Thank you.
Josh, you know where our water is?
I don't.
How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Informal breakfast.
Hold on 1 second. How you doing, man?
Hey.
We call it coffee.
Hey, a handshake. All right. Yeah.
There's nobody watching a live
you.
stream.
It's all right. I'm recording it.
You got it. You got it. Yep, you got it too.
Are you Joe Gilbert?
I am.
Joe and Carl got some.
Hey, Carl. How are you?
Why are you out here today?
May I just interject? And then I'll let you have him. I'll let you
Sure,
have him.
go ahead.
I just wanted to say to you, it seems like Congress, both houses, are being infiltrated in a good way with people like Senator Ted Cruz and Mike Lee, people that are being called extremists, but really they stand for the Constitution.
You know, I think in the end, what you're going to see is you're going to see
now that's more and more of that.
Because it's becoming that the real obstructionists are the
her other son was
old school guys who are trying to play ball, politics at home. You know, but when you're used to arguing about the shuffleboard game, you've got to stop arguing about the shuffleboard game when the ship starts sinking. Right?
Yes.
And so we got guys who know how to patch holes and get the engine running.
I drove. What you know about it?
I've been doing this with Carol for probably a month now.
So,
I started in Albany.
Carol's the one to reach out to me.
Is she?
Yes, and I appreciate it very much. I'll make sure I get her on camera and we work with her a little bit. There's a little difficulties getting to this moment, but any kind of a grassroots thing that comes together where we're not all getting paid by somebody and it's all individual effort, you know, the personalities clash and things happen, but it all came out good. We're all here today and we want to move forward, and this is a great event. It's going all over the country, and I want to tell her how much I appreciate what she's doing for us, and I'm just out here to support her just like you are.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we've come a long way. When we first started, there was only like 3 of us.
Yeah.
On the bridge. Now it's like really great.
Well, it's you know, you guys, what you're doing, it's getting the attention all across the country. Are you one of the original people with this thing?
Carol actually was.
Well, I want to
follow her.
I definitely want to talk to her about it.
Yeah, she's
This guy's running for Congress. As soon as I get him, I want to get a chance to talk to her, and you know, because we're doing this for her too. You know, she asked for it specifically.
Now, I'm sorry.
My name is Carl Gottstein Jr. I'm with the Patriot Action Network. I'm active on Facebook. Somehow she networked with me through Facebook and got me involved in this. I support many of the. This is my daughter. This is my wife. This is my son. My friend Lisa, her daughter.
one more thing, I'll
my
let
friend.
you.
So,
I'll find you on Facebook.
yeah, Carl Gottstein Jr.
I'll look it up.
Your national guy just friended me a couple days ago. Your national for you.
Oh, I don't know.
You need to play for her.
Nice to meet you.
Realizing she was stupid. She was.
I will not put you on camera.
That gentleman came 5 and a half hours.
This guy right here.
5 and a half hours.
They tell me you traveled for hours to be here.
5.5.
Can I put you on camera, please?
Did you get Josh already?
I
came with Josh.
I'm gonna get. Well, come on down here with Josh. Come on.
Yeah, we'll go down with
Go
Josh.
down here and see Josh.
There's a shutdown. We don't get paid either. Well,
Cover this guy for me.
what was the reoccurring theme?
Where's Josh?
Josh is right here.
What was the reoccurring theme
Where's Josh?
during the
Josh right
debate?
here.
I'm Josh.
Oh, you're Josh. Okay, cover Josh.
And his daughter.
What was the reoccurring theme during the debate about Obamacare? One of the themes was, is it good enough for the American people? And she said that, and nobody noticed. So I'm on the phone, I'm calling Ted Cruz, I'm calling Mike Lee's, I'm calling Bitter because of the Bitter Amendment. He's the one that proposed that amendment to apply Obamacare to Congress and Senate. So what they need to do is they need to call her bluff. They need to go to her and say, you know what, we'll co-sponsor your bill. But on that same premise, you need to co-sponsor ours because the ideology is the same. If it's good enough for the American people, it's good enough for us too. So let's intermingle this.
And cancel our 75% subsidy paid for by the American people for Congress. who are already 1%ers anyway.
Right, so they need to play that right against her because she didn't realize she set herself up. And if they don't play that against her, because it would expose either her ability to be bipartisan or her inability.
It's not quite wide enough for that. It's not quite wide enough to get you in, him, and him.
Oh, it's fine. No,
go ahead. Because they're having a conversation.
They have to move that chess piece. They've got to play tough. So I just want to put that out there. I know you're not there yet, but
Josh, that was awesome.
That's exactly what. I was watching C-SPAN Live and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe you just said that. I was throwing a sandwich.
Is she your girl?
That's my dog.
This is his dog.
Oh, really?
I can do it by myself.
Hi, Lana.
Yeah, I think so.
Hey.
How are you? Either that or you didn't friend me. All her friends, they usually just look the same.
Oh, with the bigger sign.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Taking over the world.
How you doing? Good. Yourself?
You're taking over the world.
Joe.
Yeah, good for you.
Great name.
I came with Josh. Oh, yeah. Wow, really?
Yeah, we came. Oh, right. I'm state leader for Pennsylvania's group. And he and I came up today to support.
So I had family in Delaware and Maryland. They've since moved to Shrewsbury.
New York. It's an hour south of me.
Yeah, so I'm there all the time.
Oh, okay, great.
That big guy looks like on 81.
Yeah, the York barbell guy.
Is he still there?
Yeah, he's still there. Yeah, still there. He spins.
I think his arm's broken. Oh, really? That's been so long. Oh, I know. I saw that.
Hey, sorry, he's already...
No, it's awesome.
Yeah,
Listen,
no, you're
it's yours. We're running for... come on. So who are you with? You come in with all these hours, you got your cameras, what do you do? My name is Carl Gastein. I report truth for the Patriot Action Network. What are you doing here with your big cameras in your...
I'm state leader for Overpasses for Obama's impeachment down in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Carol's the state leader up here in New York.
Right.
She wanted me
That's
to...
Carol right there, right? The lecture?
Yep.
Carol, right. She's the one that contacted me to come out and try to help you guys.
All right.
So you're the Pennsylvania Overpass leader.
Yes.
Okay, so what's going on in Pennsylvania? Can you tell me about that?
Well, we've got... be more specific. We have rallies?
No, I don't mean today. I mean with the organization. Are you guys putting out rallies? And it's just like this?
Oh, yeah. Today there's about 8 rallies down in Pennsylvania.
So are you members of like sort of Patriot Networks and conservative parties or Republican Party or
Actually,
Democrats or Independents? Or,
well, personally,
who are you?
I re-registered. Well, it's a mix.
Okay.
You're gonna see Republicans. You're gonna see Independents. You will see Democrats who are more like Kennedy Democrats, where they believe in their democratic principles, but they can see the president for who he is.
Come on, Casey. I didn't hear you. It's your buddy in here.
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah, no. You'll see a mega. Personally, I'm registered independent because a lot of people are tired of paying homage to the Republican establishment. Just do what we tell you. Don't. And it's happening on both sides.
Right.
Unfortunately, a lot of times you get in office, you got to register one or the other.
Right.
But it's more of a symbolic gesture than political one.
You know what I'm noticing about both sides of the activists, yours and the left side of the occupiers? We're all talking about some very similar American ideas. And it's like we're actually the centrists, and the parties are actually the machine heads, and we got to bring them to the center of us to get some of. This guy right here is like a patriot hero of mine. Okay, he's a retired military, he's a major in the military, retired, and this is exactly the kind of quintessential American who has the kind of heart he's got to go in there and face these people down and not be tricked. You want to try to manipulate him on information? You want to try, get over on him? Good luck to you. All right. Guys like this is what we want in Washington, D.C. And I'm thrilled to death you're out here with us.
Well, thank you very
Joe,
much,
can you give us your full name and what district you're running for and why you're here?
Okay, my name is Joe Gilbert, and I'm running for Congress in New York 21st District. And I'm here because...
And who's this gentleman?
Oh, this is Catherine Bailey. He's my helper. He's my assistant.
Okay.
It doesn't take long to stand here on the street and listen to all the support and the honking horns as the people drive by to realize that this is a pretty popular movement. And there's a lot of frustrated citizens out there who are watching what is happening to our government, where our government's going, of course led by the president, and they're just frustrated. They're over there.
Yeah, it's going on and on.
Right.
So you don't feel like you're a member of, there's no fringy thing here. This is middle America, isn't it? We're America is at right now. And that's why we're here. Sir, I really appreciate you. I believe from my research that you are the first federal candidate, the first one in the country, sir, to come out and say that if you are elected, you will introduce articles to impeach Barack Obama if it hasn't been done already.
What I've said is that as a freshman congressman,
Right.
you know, that's not going to get any attraction coming from me.
Okay.
However, if the movement is started in the House, and that's by the Constitution, all articles of impeachment must start in the House and then tried in the Senate. But if the articles are brought before me for a vote, and they make a good solid case, then I would certainly vote for it.
That's what I'm trying to say, sir. I appreciate that. You're standing with the American people. Can you give me some more idea of what your platform is all about and why you want to run for Congress specifically?
Okay. As you know, I left in New York when I was 18 years old, when I enlisted in the Army. And then 24 years later and 3 tours in Iraq, I come back. And the country I left is not the same country I found when I come home.
Amen.
When I first joined in the 80s, 1985, I was in, when Ronald Reagan was president. And I went straight to Germany. I was in Darmstadt, Germany, 542nd Combat Engineer Battalion. And our job was, in the event of a Russian attack, our job was to race to the Iron Curtain, lay obstacles, minefields, barbed wire, whatever, to slow the Russian communist advance across Western Europe long enough for reinforcements to come from the United States. And it was going to be a very tough mission for one little combat engineer battalion out of Western Germany. But we were there, you know, we were standing shoulder to shoulder, waiting for that day. If the Russian attack, we were prepared to go. And there was such a pride in being able to serve, all volunteer, ready to do whatever we needed to do to defend freedom. And in all of our trips out to the western border, looking over into East Germany, it was powerful. The difference between what freedom was and communism, tyranny on the other side. You could actually see a difference.
You've seen it with your own eyes.
You can stand there and you can look into East Germany across the Iron Curtain. Gray cars, pollution, no color, draft buildings. I mean, you can just see it. People were shuffling down the street. And then you can just literally come around and look at the top of that.
You can smell it. It smells different. Right. So the system that they're trying to inculcate, these folks on the left, is a system when taken to its latest extreme ends up in what you've already witnessed.
Well, you know,
could that be what you're trying to say? I mean, is that what I'm saying?
You were saying earlier about that this is middle American, we're not extremists.
Yeah.
People always get that confused between the extreme right and extreme left.
Yeah.
Or the Occupy movement. They're extreme right. Anarchy.
Yeah.
No government. Anarchy. The extreme left is total government. Now you're into Adolf Hitler, you're into Stalin and Mao Zedong.
Fascism.
That is total government, where they control every aspect of your life. And, you know, it seems like every day the government is taking more control from you, more control from you. Like right now, if I went back to my farm and I wanted to put on a new back porch, the very first thing I had to do was go down and get permission from government in order for me to nail 2 boards on the back of my own property.
You don't think that's the way it should be?
We don't need government to tell us every single thing about our life. I mean, they want, and between the regulations and they're out of control. And I know a lot of folks. I get frustrated with the stalemate in Washington. However, at the same time, the Common Services said we don't need 3,000 tyrants 1 mile away.
Oh, I know.
Every little thing. I do not want a bunch of lawmakers in Washington D.C. just cranking out laws that my family has to abide by. I firmly believe that 90% of our governance should come from people I can walk down the street and talk to.
So you have an experience that not a lot of people have because you have an understanding of intelligence. You have an understanding of the way how information works, how the control of information might control opinions of a population. To you in your experience now, are you witnessing the same control of information that I'm witnessing via the networks, the news, versus people like me and folks who are out here trying to tell the truth?
I'm going to answer you with a story. One of the tricks that Saddam Hussein did to absolute control, to instill that fear in the populace, and to squash any thought of rebellion. He would take a district, a city, a village, whatever. and he would prohibit food supplies from going into that city or that village. And he would do that for a number of days. And while that was going on, of course, supplies within the city are dwindling. But at the same time, the information operations into that, the rebels have cut the road. The government's trying to get through. We have the food supplies ready. We just can't get through. The guys who are fighting against us.
We can get you a message, but we just can't get you a hamburger.
Right. And then
we can get you a message.
At some time later, then magically the roads would be open, and Saddam Hussein would allow the food to go in.
And all would feel to the glory of Saddam Hussein.
Exactly.
So you think that people's emotions are manipulated this way for political purposes?
Well, you can just see that all the time in Obamacare. It's either nihilism or total control. It's like if I'm against Obamacare, the reasoning that I'm going to hear from the opposition is not, well, the exchanges are going to work themselves out, and you can see the math and the CBO report.
You mean the common sense facts are not going to be explained? Right. What's going to be the actual? What are they going to say it is?
They're going to say, well, you want people to die in the streets.
So they're going to demagogue you.
So it's either total control or absolutely no health care at all. Everyone's just going to die in the streets.
So do you believe part of the problem then is a disinformation campaign on the American people?
I wouldn't go that far. However, that of course both sides, especially whatever group's in power, has the media. They have the bully pulpit, as they say, to spin the story however they want. And the more attention that the media and the more complacent the media is into listening to that bully pulpit, well, I always said that as a military intelligence officer, if somebody was standing on the bridge telling Omar Bradley where the machine gun is, he's going to fight that machine gun. And he's not going to worry about the 21st Panzer Group that's 3 miles behind the lines, because he's not being told where they are. And so you're going to act on the information we're providing. And so if that's the information that the American people are receiving, then that's the information they're going to believe.
So in that case, we could actually ignore an economic forest fire if we're not actually aware of it, while our whole house burns down, while we're focused on a fish frying in a pan, because everybody's pointing at the fish while everything's burning around us. Is that possible?
That's what's happening. The house is on fire, and we're worried about what color the curtains are on the front porch. We're printing the Federal Reserve. This is a crazy system to think about. The Federal Reserve is printing $85 billion a month out of thin air. $85 billion a month.
And then we're borrowing it, I believe,
and then
at interest.
Right over to the U.S. Treasury.
Right?
Then it goes right over to the U.S. Treasury, and they buy debt with it. So we're printing money to buy debt that we owe ourselves that we will pay interest on.
Have you seen countries do this before? Do you have any knowledge of history where?
The only instances that I know of before are two.
Zimbabwe, maybe?
Zimbabwe.
What happened in Zimbabwe?
And the Weimar Republic. Both the same results.
Can you explain to us what they were?
Well, when you just print a bucket full of money, it's worthless. I'd collect coins, for example. I collect old, rare collectible coins. The only thing that makes a coin rare or valuable is its rarity. And so the more of them there are, the less that I can expect to pay for it. And so if the US dollar is just being printed by the bucket load, every single one of them that comes off the printing press is worth just a little bit less than the one that came before it. And so if you're cranking out $85 billion a month and just pay for nothing.
So our money becomes, or the value of our currency is actually devalued every time they print another $85 billion. There's a small percentage that we are devalued, is what they're telling me.
Right.
I believe that to be the truth.
However, it's being artificially suppressed because the Fed is also artificially pulling interest rates down.
Right, so it's basically just switching decimal points.
Right.
Right? Buying up the future, as it were, and indebting our great-grandchildren to pay back this money.
Right.
How is she expected right now? This is a girl.
Look at this little sign over here. Hold that sign up, Bree. That's Bree for short over here, Bree.
She's already in debt somewhere around $53,000. Her personal share is $53,000 right now to the federal government.
Bree, try not to hear that, Bree. Don't get too mad at us, Bree. We're working on it, Bree.
I'm upset they spent all my money.
He heard about it. That's why he wants Joe for Congress, because Joe's going to get in there and do something about that wicked debt. Right, Bree?
Yep.
That's
So
right.
how could we in good conscience keep doing this? How could we support a system that does that?
Well, I think that we cannot, sir, and that's why when I see candidates like you, and I see, thank you, listen, when I see folks like you out here, I always try to make sure the truth is told across the Patriot Action Network, because These are the kind of breast fires we have to set, and we have to make sure the eyes of America are on them and continue to do so. Right now, there are people all over the country watching what's going on here. You're watching what's going on, Casey and others. And Carol here. Carol's the state organizer for this. And Carol asked me, Carol's the leader. Carol's the leader, the founder of the New York State Network, and she reached out to me, to ask me to cover it, to spread the word, and to invite my friends here. And when I heard you were coming, I didn't have to think after that. I love what you're doing, Carol, and I love what you're doing. So you guys together, this is the kind of stuff that changes the world. And Patriot Action Networks is very proud to be a part of it. Thank you for coming out, sir. This is the kind of man we need in Congress. Thank you, sir.
Very much.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely we need him in Congress. You're not kidding.
Carol, can I take a few minutes with you?
Yes, I want to, before you go, can I have a few minutes with you?
I want to walk across the street and meet those folks.
Okay, then I'll meet you over there.
Okay.
Wonderful. Be careful.
All right. Oh, I know.
Wait a minute.
I've been jogging it lately.
Carol, thank you for inviting me on today. Thank you for asking me to support you on this effort. I think what you're doing is quintessentially American. I think that while we may struggle in this movement, because none of us is paid by anyone, we're all here on our own time and our own dime. And if you have a toothache or if I have a head cold, God knows what's going to happen, right? But I want to give you that hug. I told you I wasn't going to give you this. I want to give you that hug because I thank you so much for what you're doing here today. And
I wouldn't have it any other way. I don't care how much work is involved. I'm going to do it.
Right.
It's just like it takes me a long time to prepare for every event. And I have events.
Well, you had oral surgery this week, right?
Oh, I had it 2 weeks ago. You know what? I need to get in there today. I go every day to do oral surgery.
Oh, everybody.
We need you. That's actually the house with the pain.
God bless you.
But I couldn't get it done today. I'm hoping to get it done tonight.
We all know that nothing hurts worse than a toothache. Nothing hurts worse than a dry socket. God bless you for what you've been going through this last week and a half. I know, because I've been following you closely. I know you've been in a lot of pain, but I know that you've been fighting past it. Get the word out, and the evidence is here today, because folks have turned out for you, and that's the evidence. And every time you hear another one of those beats go by, we probably heard a couple of 200 of them. That is, I don't feel like a fringer. I feel like we're middle America. I really do.
Well, we are middle America.
Yeah. So, why are you here today, Carol? Tell us why you're here today.
Oh, I'm here to fight freedom and to stand up for our First Amendment. And all our amendments, because this tyranny bothers me. They're fast and furious, and Benghazi, and the IRS, and...
I don't understand this guy's my manager.
I mean, it's endless. It is endless, and he needs to be held responsible. He needs to be tried. For treason, quite honestly. I wish for impeachment, but I believe in treason. So he's committed it so many different times and so many levels.
Well, give me just one example of what you would call treason, a treasonous act, because I happen to agree with you, and I have many of my own favorites. I'd like to hear what yours is.
Oh, he's eating Al-Qaeda. That's what I'm doing.
Wait a minute. Who?
Al-Qaeda.
Isn't that a terrorist organization?
That is a terrorist.
Wait a minute. Did you say that the President of the United States is aiding Al-Qaeda?
And Al-Nusra Front.
Wait a minute. Another terrorist organization?
Right, they're like the parent organization for
I thought that was against the law of the United States.
It sure is.
So, wait a minute. Isn't there one...
It's actually more than against the law.
It's treason.
That's what I was
saying. Isn't there only one thing you can do? What is the only thing you can do to commit treason?
You can hump.
Well, what is the only thing you do? You have to aid and abet the enemies and known terrorists.
Or wage war against...
Right. Yeah. Or aid and abet the enemies of the United States. Now, Al-Qaeda, as far as I know, they were the ones who claimed responsibility of taking down 2 of our towers in New York City. Now, I'm standing here in New York as a New Yorker born and raised. And when I hear that the United States is now the Air Force for Al-Qaeda, I can't tell you what that does to my heart and soul. My grandfather won the Medal of Honor in the Air Force, right? My blood has been in this, my family's blood has been in this country, dying for this country, forever.
I come from a very military family myself.
I would be ashamed for my son to be in the military right now.
My son just got out not long ago.
If my son was in the military, I would have my son resigning on conscientious objections in that he would not serve and aid and abet terrorists. If my son was in the Air Force, he would be landing his B-52 and getting out and taking off his uniform.
Okay? In the backyard, we might need it.
Well, let me just tell you, all right? I happen to agree with you. That is one very important reason. Now, I would like to interview this gentleman next to you if you give me a minute, Carol. I'll give you a chance to go talk to him, and then we'll get back to you later.
I need to run across the street.
All right, well, I want to talk to you later before we go, okay? All right. Back up here. Thank you. Come over here, sir.
I have everything.
Thank you, Carol.
Excuse me, honey.
And I don't really honestly think... Now, can you give me your name, sir?
My name is Kevin Goldie.
Right, now, have we ever met before today? We met on Facebook a couple of times. What got my attention with this gentleman right here he created a Facebook page for Joe, whose name is Joe Gilbert. Is it? Joe Gilbert. Joe Gilbert, the military intelligence officer who's running for Congress. This is his go-to guy on Facebook. Now that means you are no dummy, sir, because I know he's not picking any dummy to represent him on Facebook. Then I talked to you, and you impressed me very much as a person. I want to say, I think of you, sir, as a future office holder. I don't know how high it's going to go for you, but you're a young man. You're very intelligent. Your feet are in the right place at the right time in history, and I'm excited to know you. And I'm excited to see you get behind Joe and take him to Congress. I'm excited to see you going to D.C. with Joe. And I'd like to know what kind of ideas you have about the future of our country.
Well, the future of our country, I can tell you, is not looking very good for our future generations to enjoy. And if it's okay, I have a speech.
I'd love to hear your speech, sir. You have a prepared statement?
Yes.
Mayor, would you please take his prepared statement? I'm going to get a drink of water and I'll be right back with you. Stay with him.
America, I stand before you today as one of your citizens with this message. If we all can just come together as Americans and set our differences aside, both Republican and Democrat, if we can indeed do this, then I know that we can get the America back for our children and future generations to enjoy, but we must do it now. We must strike hard, and we must not let up until the White House has heard our voice. And that is how we save America. Our children deserve the same freedoms we all enjoyed as kids growing up. But if we don't put an end to Obama's socialist machine, our children and future generations will have a dark future instead of a bright one. If we don't wake up now and start sending representatives that work for the people, the way our government was formed 226 years ago, then there will be no more America to love, to defend, no more government for the people, by the people. If we don't remember what President Ronald Reagan said, and I quote, our government is the most deeply honorable form of government ever devised by man, and it is worth dying for. Then the America we all grew up with and love will be forever lost. That's why I support men like Mr. Joe Gilbert, my American brother. He is like many Americans today, tired of government deciding what's best for the people and not letting the people decide what's best for them. That's why he's running for Congress, to work for the people and bring the right kind of change to Congress. He is a true patriot who knows what it's like to go without, and we need more American patriots like him in Congress, who just plain get it, and who will let the people decide for themselves what is best for them. He will not vote for a bill without first reading the entire bill and getting feedback from we the people. So I tell Washington to start listening to we the people, because we the people will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We will not stop, we will not surrender until we achieve absolute victory for our future generations to enjoy. So Washington, D.C., you better get ready, because we the people are coming, and we are not happy. And that is my message to Washington, D.C.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Hey,
Very spirited.
I haven't ran for office in
Yes, 20 years.
I'm trying to get her at
Navy.
home.
Oh, in the Navy.
Joe's running for Congress. Joe's also a veteran. Joe's a major retired intelligence. Joe feels a lot like you feel. Mayor, I want you to come over here. So I want to interview this guy here next to Joe too. This guy over here. Now, tell me why you're here today, sir. First of all, tell me your name, if you would.
My name's Ken Powers.
Good to meet you, Ken Powers. I'm Carl Gottstein with the Patriot Action Network. We report the truth. I'm out here today with Joe Gilbert, who's running for Congress. I'd like to know from you, sir, why you came out. Why did you stop at this bridge full of people honking for Obama's impeachment?
Because I believe in exactly everything that's going on here. I'm an American. I'm a veteran. 20 years I served this country. And right now, I'm very fearful of what's happening in our country. I feel that we're at a tipping point, and more of us have to come out and speak our mind and have our voice heard in Washington. I do not want to see our country vanish. I don't want to see it go the way of a European third world nation and any of those socialist fantasy programs. That's why I'm here. And I think more and more of us have to keep coming out and just make our voice heard, because this is what the majority of Americans feel right here. And we got to get over this fear and come out and speak and be heard.
God bless you, sir. Thank you for your service, and thank you for stopping on the bridge for us. Thank you for being said, and thank you for telling America the truth. I appreciate it. Mayor, I want to talk some more of these folks over here on the bridge.
Does that make any sense?
I'm sorry.
Would you like to talk on camera?
No. Talk to the mic.
These here Patriots, I see some of these folks, you know, some of these events I come out, the same faces over and over again. This face right here, you're standing next to, I think I've seen him at about every event to fight for America and to stand up for our Constitution. I think that I've witnessed about the last 4 years. I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's only 3.5 years. This gentleman over here is a consistent activist. I want to thank you. I want to ask you if you have anything to say to me, sir, to the people in the country that are watching this broadcast and all the Overpass broadcasts across the nation.
Fight for America.
Like you are, it wouldn't be easy to keep up with you, sir. I gotta tell you. My name is Carl Gottstein with the Patriot Action Network, John, and I thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Can you tell us why you're out here today to serve?
You noticed when I was looking at.
Yeah, you're looking at my Masonic ring. I'm a member of the Masonic fraternity. There are many fraternities, John, and I understand that you're not real comfortable with the Masonic fraternity. Would you like to tell us why? If not, you don't have to. I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
It's a kind of a long story, Carl.
Okay, well, you wouldn't be alone. You wouldn't be alone, sir. A lot of people are uncomfortable with the Freemasons. Whenever you have secrets involved, it makes people uncomfortable. I will tell you as a witness, I've never seen anybody in the Masonic fraternity do anything that was less than honorable, ever. And when people do things that are unhonorable, dishonorable in the Masonic fraternity, those things are termed, I'll say this is not a big secret, that's called un-Masonic behavior. And we tend to ostracize those people and push them away from us, not embrace them. And we don't conspire to do evil things. I just want to tell you that myself. The last thing that was known that we conspired about was a little something called the Boston Tea Party. And one of the reasons why I'm involved with the Freemasons is because I want to see them get involved again like they were involved in 1770-something, when they tossed the tea in the ocean and told some of those folks to go, we're about brotherhood, and we're about unity, and we're about equality, John. And you'd be welcome in my lodge. I just want you to know that.
I was just going to ask you that. Do you think
Hey, thanks,
all you have to do is...
We got to go 100 miles. So.
Sir, thank you for coming out,
Thank
Joe.
you.
I look forward to you folks going to Congress, and we're going to work together hard to get you there. Thank you,
Thanks
sir.
a lot.
Thank you.
you.
Talk to you soon. Go ahead, John. Sorry. Go ahead.
you think I'd be the kind of person who would be welcome there?
John, you are a quintessential American. You are so much about what my fraternity is about. I think you'd wonder why you hadn't been there before. Yes, I think you'd be the kind of person. You are exactly, we call ourselves irregular stones. We are the odd cut. We're not the one that fits in with all the rest. We're the one that speaks for what we want to say, and we try to make ourselves do the best we can every day and do all we can. A lot like you, John. I think you fit in like a glove, is what I think. You go down to see a lodge, and you ask them what it takes. Any one of them, mine, any of them. I'm sure you'd be welcome. And that's the truth.
I might think about that.
You do that, sir. Is there anything else you'd like to say today? There's a lot of folks listening across the country. I'd like to know, because you're a man who's involved in a lot of these. You come out to these events that are all about supporting America. I've seen you on different subjects. I've seen, especially recently on the 2A subject, about the Second Amendment. You've been an adamant supporter of those standing against the SAFE Act. I happen to be one of those folks. I stood with you in February in the freezing cold. We were there in the largest
snow.
In the snow. You were even at rallies. Only 5 people showed up. You were one of the 5. And the rallies, so there was 15,000, 12 people, 1,000 people showed up. You were right there too. So you've been at all of them. You're steadfast in your support of this country and of the Constitution, and I admire your dedication. I wonder, from your viewpoint, where do you think we're going with this? Do you think is the Tea Party dead? And also, are we owned by the Koch brothers? Do you get a paycheck from the Koch brothers? That's another thing.
I haven't gotten a paycheck from any of them.
So
I do this out of my belief in my country.
Right.
I think I'm not sure. I think part of what drives me is I'm first generation. Of course, my mother and father were naturalized immigrants.
My mother was born in
What I know about this country, I had to learn Yugoslavia. Well, Yugoslavia and Macedonia.
Is Yugoslavia and Macedonia, are they free countries, or are they more left or more right? What are they exactly?
They used to be part of the USSR.
Part of the communist bloc?
Yeah.
So you might have some family knowledge, intergenerational knowledge, of what the indicators are of oppression and what freedom looks like.
I actually visited Yugoslavia for my 12 when I was 12 years old, and I actually got to see what actual communism was. And I'm telling you, it's not something I want.
It's not something I want either, John. And, you know, ever since he took over General Motors, I had a sense of impending communism with this guy. Like, he just thinks that, you know, the government is superior to the people, put it that way, the voice of the people and the sovereignty of the people. He took the ownership of people who were stockholders and handed the transfer of the ownership to his political allies. It only got worse from there. The latest things they raised to the point of what I would call treason. I think a lot of people would call it treason.
We've got more going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is it right here.
The people.
Al Qaeda and Obama.
That National Defense Authorization Act.
See this, folks. See this. Understand this. The people that took down our buildings on 9/11. That is Obama's allies. Son, you holding the camera. You are third generation Air Force. If you've been in the Air Force now, I'd ask you to park the B-2 bomber and take off your suit and walk out of the military. Because our military and our family, we never bled to be part of this, to support this. Nobody I know wants this. It's treason. This is what raises to the level of treason, folks. When Al Qaeda and Obama are partners, that's treason.
John, it is a violation of the Section 1021 of the National Defense Authorization Act that he himself signed into office.
What does that mean, sir? What does that act mean?
Supporting and defending the people who... It actually says Al Qaeda in Section 1021.
Specifically, they are a terrorist organization that we are specifically restricted from having any part of, right? They're enemies of the state.
And we're arming them.
Right. So now our Air Force is Al Qaeda's Air Force.
We're arming them while we're disarming the American people. Now, how does that make sense?
It doesn't make any sense to me, sir, unless you're trying to destroy a nation and empower our enemies. I don't see this president as a friend to the American people. I say it over and over again. I think we're really at the point now where it's just blatantly obvious. You know, when your president is arming the terrorists who took down our buildings on 9/11, sir, America, you know, I don't know what more you want these folks out here to say. John, you know, I thank you for your service. I know you're not going anywhere. Until this job is done, we're going to keep fighting. Thank you. Go over here.
Battery's dying.
Thanks, John.
Right next to
Battery's dying.
Voice spot or voice or something like that.
Yep.
Got the upshoot.
How many hours you travel to get here?
5.5, I think.
Sir, why did you come 5 hours to stand on this hot corner on a beautiful Saturday afternoon?
Because I'm a patriot and I'm a passionate person.
Sir, I appreciate you. My name is Carl Gottstein. I'm with the Patriot Action Network. This is what's your name?
Joe McCartney.
Joe McCartney. Thank you for honoring us by coming here today.
I would do it again in a heartbeat.
You know, you're the reason why we're here, because I don't feel that we're any different, you and I would have come 5 hours to see your event to do this. All right. This guy came from what, Pennsylvania?
We came in the same car.
We came together.
Yeah.
We came in the same car.
Have you been working with him in Pennsylvania? Just for Pennsylvania too?
Yeah, we do it.
So these are our Pennsylvania contingent. I have a son that lives in Hazleton.
Yeah.
Adam, look at these guys. Make sure you hook up with them on the network. Now, what do you see as the future for Overpass, and what are we going to do with this?
Well, right now, it's twofold. Right now, we're pushing. Hold on,
Go ahead, listen to him.
No, that's okay. It's twofold, really. Right now, what we're trying to do is, of course, impeach Obama. But during this process, the reason we're out here on these overpasses is to wake people up,
right.
To let people know, the people that may be driving. Look,
they're beeping. Are they awake?
Right.
Yeah.
But there's people that drive in their cars and they go to work and they go home and they go to work and they believe what we believe, but they don't know that there's other people out there that believe the way we believe, because the mainstream media, the drive-by media, paints this false narrative. So we're out there to let them know that we're here with them and to join us. You know, we're just normal people. We've got families, we've got wives, we've got businesses, we've got jobs, we've got problems, we've got good things, we've got bad things, and we're out here waking people up.
Right.
Letting them know that there is a path to come find us.
So who's paying you to do this?
Nobody's paying me.
What?
One of the
Wait a minute, where's your Kosh paycheck? You didn't get a paycheck today?
No, I didn't get
my Kosh paycheck either. I wish that every time MSNBC or some of those people would say Koch brothers is paying somebody, they remember to pay me because I'm working this hard. This guy's working harder than me.
One of the illusions.
I've not got a dime for this in 5 years. Have you made any money doing this stuff?
No.
Have you? Are you trying to?
No.
Are you asking for any money for this?
No, I don't want
I'm also not asking for any money for this. Go ahead.
Justice.
Justice.
I want justice.
Yes, sir.
That's the payment that American people are going to get, is justice being served. We're getting...
Do you settle for a price less than that?
Sorry?
Do you settle for any price less than that?
No.
Me neither. That's what I want. I don't want your money, buddy. I don't want your Coca-Cola. I use it as battery acid, okay? You know what I want? I want my America back for my children and grandchildren. Okay? I got 3 grandchildren already. I'm only 49. They're still coming. I got young ones that aren't kids yet, okay? And they're looking at me funny. This guy's got a bachelor's degree in science. She's got a bachelor's degree in architecture. They're both getting their MBAs. And they're both looking at me like, are we going to go to the country to make it? Because this country here is not going to play it out, Dad. You're going to fix this thing. Okay?
Right.
So, we got to do something about it. All right? These people out here are standing up for their country. I want to know what the rest of America's going to do.
We have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to our children. Part of this is a responsibility. Things were fine. Things started falling apart, and there's generations that, prior to my generation, that had opportunities to fix things, and they didn't. And I don't want to leave this country in worse of a shape when I leave it for my children. That's what I think about. Having kids makes you think a lot about the future. Makes you think further, much further than right here.
You got children?
If you live, yeah, I have 2.
That's right. It makes you wake up, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's right. Because you're responsible for their future now, aren't you?
That's right, and teaching them personal responsibility is absolutely paramount. We are living in a society where there's a growing population of people that want to be babied and taken care of. They don't know how to make decisions. They don't want to learn how to make decisions for themselves. They don't know how to be independent. They don't want to learn how to be independent.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that a person, a free spirit, wakes up wanting to learn to be enslaved? Or do you think that perhaps that there's a societal impetus toward what you're saying? I don't think that anybody wakes up wanting to be in a crib for the rest of their life. I think that every man who stands on his own 2 feet appreciates standing strong on his own 2 feet. I feel that the government is more responsible for that destruction and that attitude you're talking about than anything else that we face. And as long as they come out with attitudes that, criminalize or demonize people that do the right thing and, baby and continue to inculcate people to do the wrong thing, we're going to get that result you're talking about. What's important is what you're doing is raising your children with personal responsibility, and you're showing personal responsibility because at your age, do this, do this, do this, do this, do